Welcome again to another rendition of WTF Interviews. My name is Sir Royce Briales, and I'm with my prestigious co-host, Dr. Raheem Young. How's it going, my brother?
All is well, man. How things on your end?
All is well, and well is all, as always. I'm also pleased to announce it's been long awaited, long overdue. We got the Smokin Sustuz on the line.
Yes.
Hey,
y'all.
Hey y'all.
How
We are the Smokin Sustaz.
How y'all doing?
Good.
We're doing pretty good.
Just getting off work and winding down. That's all.
Literally winding down.
Winding down.
Well overdue.
And winding down at the same time.
Yeah, that was the one I was talking about.
There you go.
Wanning. No D, wanning.
All right, ladies. So first question I normally ask is how many kids you got? What are their ages? And what do you guys do for a living?
I have a daughter. She is 9 years old. She'll be 10 and literally the week before Christmas. Pray for me. I'm a happy mom. I love being a mother. And what I do, honestly, what I did, I was a family and health advocate, but God told me to take a leap of faith. So I'm just letting God lead me. So right now I'm just trying to get my purpose. I'm trying to learn what my purpose is so I can flourish and so I can use what God provided me to be the best me I can be. You know, whether it's entrepreneurship, whether it's motivational speaking. Right now we have the podcast, and I also we invested into the 360 video booth. So that's another stream of income we're working on. And we also MC or host events.
And I DJ.
And she DJ.
Well, we'll get to that when
right, it's not even her turn yet. But yeah. So we working on a lot right now. And yeah, that's it.
Well, I thought she was asleep, but I have a daughter. She's 2 years old. And right now what I do, I work for Wintrust Bank. I've always been in banks, like ever since I graduated college. I found out that that's like one of my things that I love. It's a passion of mine. But yeah, and I write. I do the Smokin Sustuz. We do the video 360 booth. And then I also DJ. So if you ever need me, we could call me.
Et cetera.
And I love being a mom too. It is frustrating at times because she's only 2. So she's real dependent right now. But versus like when I see Maddie, you will barely see Maddie all day unless she's hungry or she got to run to the bathroom or she's begging for one of her friends to come over. So I kind of envy Quita because Quita, you know, she get to chill. But I love being a mom. It's so fun. It's so rewarding when you know that your child like just love you and they depend on you for everything. So yeah.
She says chill. I just drove all the way to Summit to drop this girl off at the skating rink. And I was supposed to go back and get her. And Titi was like, "Are you coming straight back?" I'm like, "Why?" Now I got cute and everything. I put my makeup on, put some clothes on. Usually I just throw on a t-shirt and some jogging pants. But I thought I should be cute tonight, dropping off my kid at the skating rink.
And now you got a reason.
And now I had a reason. So I'm like, good thing I did get dressed.
Right.
So yeah. Being a mom to older kids is just as hard as the younger ones. They easy to please. You see, she doing her own thing right now. Y'all can't see it, but she ain't bothering nobody. It's the big ones for me.
Levels to
it. Yeah.
Maybe y'all feel that way when I get a big one. I don't know.
I mean, it's rewarding. Because they can make their own noodles and shit.
So can y'all talk about the name Smokin Sustuz? Like, how did y'all come up with that? And like, what is it?
Really?
You want to go?
Really? You can't tell?
Okay, so
everybody's smoking in the video right now.
But listen, okay, the obvious part is yeah. But we've always wanted to get into the venture of hookahs. Like we wanted, you know, we still do, you know, that's something later on.
Like mobile
hookahs for like parties and stuff like that and events or whatever. So we've always wanted to do that. And then, you know, we came together with 2 other young ladies, you know, and I actually just came up with the name out of my head because it's something we wanted to do. And, you know, it was just more so like, yo, we can surround it around hookah smoking. Just that's what we do, because we don't see that. Like, we see people drinking, we see people smoking blunts, but we have yet to see people, you know, to smoke hookah, you know, have that surrounded. Like, when your guests come, they got to smoke hookah or whatever like that, and of course drink. So, and then, you know, we sisters. So that is, it's hard to explain. It's just, we smoking, we sisters.
Yeah. And honestly, it just happened. It was like, since we do this anyway, like when we first started, we've been living together since 2018.
18, yep.
Since 2018, we've been living together. Pray for us. But we've been living together since 2018. And we was doing this anyway. Like, we both are goofy. We both like talking about just real life stuff. So we decided that, hell, why not? Let's just go with the flow. Let's just do it. We literally stepped out on faith, y'all. Like, we were having meetings and doing all of this. Like, this was the business for us. This was something that we felt was like an outlet, but now it means a lot more than that.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I'm just excited for the future and what Smokin Sustuz has in store for the world and what the world has in store for us.
Amen. Thanks.
Yeah, I'm excited for y'all because, you know, it's kind of the same thing I felt about podcasting on our side. Like, we're able to connect to a bigger audience just from using our platform from our audience. And I think we can really make an impact just from sharing our stories and having other people join and share their stories. Because everybody that jumps on your podcast, they got a network too. You know what I'm saying? They got people that connect with them. So it's a great way to, you know, get out there for sure.
That's fact.
And I know the Smokin Sustuz going around. Like, I'm on this dating app, BLK. But somebody inboxed me randomly and was like, "You look familiar. You look like one of the Smokin Sustuz." I'm like, you know, that's his, what's that? His pickup line.
His pickup line.
But no, he was like, "You look familiar," and I'm like, "Yeah, I am the Smokin Sustuz." He was like, "That's crazy because, you know, I subscribe to y'all. I'm in tune with y'all, and I love what y'all doing." And it just made me feel, you know, really good inside because somebody out there watching us, y'all, like, not just people that we think are, you know, like our friends and family, but it's reaching further than that because you'll never see a pair like the Smokin Sustuz. Period.
Let me ask y'all, since you brought up like the topic of like the dating aspect and everything, and this is a podcast based around fatherhood. So what like attributes from your own father do you look for in a partner and the guy that you're gonna mess with?
Hardworking, period.
Okay.
When I was provider, there you go. Provider and hardworking. At first, I didn't understand, and it was just, my mom was just always there. My mom was the one that always, you know, guided us, and, you know, we used to be able to come to her about anything, you feel me? But it took for us to lose our mom for me to really understand my dad's purpose in my life. Because I thought, okay, well, all he do is work. He don't really care about us. He don't really know us, but it's a lie. If I text my daddy now and be like, "Dad," he gonna ask me what I want, what you want. But definitely a provider. And it's more than just providing, you know, money all the time. It's more than just money. He provide love, you know. He provide that father, you know, that father figure for my child, and definitely, you know, with Quita's child too, for both our kids, you know. So definitely a provider, somebody that, you know, would take my kid on with love. That's most important for me, you know, with love as a daughter, not any other type of way. But what else? You got anything, Q?
Yeah, I mean, I'm just gonna piggyback off what she said. I totally agree. You know, my mom was, you know, she was a go-to person because my dad was always at work, even though my mom, full-time, all of that, full-time worker and everything, you know, employee. She did all of it. But my dad, them days my mama was at work and my daddy was there, he had stuff on point.
Hair, drop off for school, one of us calling in, you know, from school, just things like that. Because I'm a mom, me personally, I'm a mom now. So it's different things that I'm looking for now. I'm just not looking for, you know, if you tall and you got nice shoes and stuff, although that might be a plus, but I'm looking for more of, you know, how family oriented are you?
Right.
Because there's a lot of people with kids that ain't family oriented. You feel me?
And then knowing that, you know, we have that security, even as, you know, adult women. We still have that security for my dad. Because you know, we doing this by ourselves. We out here working hard. We out here trying to, you know, actually make a name for ourselves and something we can pass on to our kids, because a lot of us in this generation that we were born in, we don't have a legacy. We don't have, you know, something that we can just be like, okay, well, my mom and daddy passes down to me, so more than likely I'm gonna pass it down to my child. So I'm feeling like our parents set, especially our dad, he set a capstone for how we want our household to be led. Sorry, y'all. How our household should be led. And that's what I'm looking for. Like, I never knew exactly what I wanted. Like Illy said, like tall, you know, the outer qualities, but the inner qualities, because I watched my dad do some amazing things, you know, around the time my mom was leaving. And the definition of for better or worse was my mama and daddy. Like my dad, like he stepped up. This, if anybody know my daddy, he ain't taking off work for nothing. He took off work. He still to this day, fuck the job. Fuck it. They gonna give me 2 points? Fuck it. I ain't coming in.
But yeah, you know, just being loving, a provider. You know, I don't know about a lot of women, you know, out here in this new day and age, but I still go based off of them old school, you know, qualities. Yeah, I'll take care of the home. We can piggyback on the home. Make sure you take that garbage out. Make sure you clean up behind yourself in the bathroom for sure. But I'll cook, you know, I'll take care of the kids, you know, and that way I'll be there for the kids. And yeah, I'll work because I can never not see myself working. I cannot be a housewife. Like, I just can't. But yeah, and he had to be highly ambitious. Another thing that taught me with my dad was he depended on a job. I don't want my significant other, my husband, to be like, well, you know, I can't do this. I can't go to my kid's game because I'm gonna get points taken off. No, I want him to be like, let me call my assistant or let me, you know, something like that, so that he can reschedule some things around. That way I can spend time with my kids. Because that's one of the things, you know, we missed. He was at, you know, certain things, but it's a lot of things he missed because he had to work. So it's a you know, situation. So
you kind of answered my next question, like what things wouldn't you want from your significant other, like that your dad had, as far as like you know, those traits that he had that you don't want in your mate. Like you kind of answered that already in that last
statement.
Done.
We can answer. I ain't done.
Oh, go ahead.
That ain't it. But my dad, I understand he was frugal for a reason.
Cheap for those in the back.
I understand he was frugal for a reason, but he had some very selfish traits. And I say had because this was pre my mom passing. Now he kind of don't have a choice, and we have to remind him that all the time, like, you don't have a choice. But he had some really like selfish traits. You know, I saw a lot of things me growing up and my dad that I would never want to see a man do. You know, to be real, substance abuse. I would never want that. Yeah, you smoke weed, cool. Yeah, you drink. But if that's something that's becoming a problem all day, every day, and then at least other things, I don't want that, I want somebody that can communicate with me. Like, I want to be able to definitely communicate. I don't like, when we mad at each other, you going on Facebook and you saying, fuck these bitches and stuff like that. I can curse, right?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Like,
It's grown up conversation here.
But
look, not saying my daddy do all. He ain't.
No, not like that. But I'm just, he has, in the past I've experienced growing up, him and my mama get mad and he'll shut her out or he'll leave. And they'll not talk. They always, of course, talk back together because they've been together their whole lives. But I never want, my husband or significant other to leave. And I never want him to, have that man like, fuck you. Because, I have, and my daddy's a great man, don't get me wrong, but I have seen my dad like, fuck y'all, as in the kids too, all of us, and have that mentality. And that's something that me personally, like, no. That's why I say you got to be real family oriented. You got to come from a good family. You got to be close to your own damn family because, if you're not, then we probably won't work,
That's a technical foul.
It is a technical foul for real. But what about you, Q?
I kind of share the same things, even though, I'm a few years older than Illy. I have experienced, a different side of my dad. And I can honestly say I would rather not go into it, but I can honestly say, the communication is amazing with me and my dad now. Mm-hmm. It's amazing. And there's one trait that he did not have with me per se. I'm only speaking for myself. It was a lack of communication. Even now, I'm still trying to work on communicating. It's not awkward anymore. It's like, get on the phone, he finna talk about bills, he finna ask for this, he finna ask for that. Now, no, he wanna see how the girls doing, he wanna see how the kids doing, and we can literally converse because now we have something in common. Now it's not like, well, I gotta go to sleep, I gotta get up for work. It's, what y'all cooking, what y'all doing, or, you know what I'm saying? So I just think it was just a communication with my dad. Mm-hmm. That was one really, really big thing that I thought, lacked was communication. Mm-hmm. Because dealing with, men and stuff growing up, I didn't have my dad to tell me, that nigga ain't no good for you. I had to figure that shit out on my own. And I got a big brother, It was like, I had to figure shit out on my own, and that's one quality I don't want my significant other to just allow our child or our children or, because I'm bringing a child into the relationship. I would hate that you don't give that child that guidance that they need because you've experienced, what the hell these men out here doing. If you don't have that to give and to pass on, like that's a technical foul. I'm not gonna, I'm not gonna see a future with you because had I had that growing up, maybe I wouldn't have had a child out of wedlock. I love my daughter. I thank God for her. Mm-hmm. But it's so difficult being a single mom because I didn't have that male figure to tell me you need to make sure that nigga got a condom, you need to be on birth control, you need what he say he gonna do this? Oh, he said he love you. Oh no, that nigga don't love you. Is he doing what your daddy doing? Right. No, he not. Right. So stop letting them play you. You know what I'm saying? Stop letting them feed shit to you. So that's where it comes in as far as like communication and just reassuring your child that you got their back 100%. Right. That's very important for me because I'm doing it all by myself. Like I'm the mama and daddy. Damn it. Because I'd be like, oh baby, come cuddle. No, suck it up. So I have to switch roles, My voice get high and then it get a little deep. Period. But yeah.
Did that answer your question?
Oh yeah, for sure. So what you talked about, Quita, you talked about like communication or communicating with your dad. Like, well, how do you communicate? Like, what's your communication style? And it's for both of y'all.
Ooh, how do I communicate?
I think it'd be better if we tell them, if we tell how each other communicate, because we're not gonna tell the truth.
No, I'm gonna tell the truth.
Okay, go ahead.
No, tell me how I communicate.
You communicate more now, but before a lot of this happened, she would like, even like we're going on dates, and this is very recent that she stopped doing this. Like going on dates and like giving guys a chance. It's just like, I don't want to go out with him, or I can't go out with him. I got a whole daughter, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And I just be like, what did you tell him? Just that, for real, that type of communication. Or like when you used to braid hair, and it's just like, I ain't got time to do this, so I got to take that, or I don't feel like doing it. What did you tell him? Okay. And I think that was one of the things, because you expressed it,
but not to that.
Right.
Because I don't like being a disappointment. You know what I'm saying? I don't like telling people I'm gonna do something for them, because in my mind, instead of me thinking like, okay, cool, put yourself first, see if you got the time, see if you feel up to it, automatically be like, oh, this person needs me. So yes, I'll do it. And then when it comes down to it, it's just like, I gotta take Maddie this. I gotta do Maddie hair. And it literally takes me 2 to 3 hours to do my daughter's hair. And that's just combing it out and straightening it, or if I'm washing it and blow drying it and straightening it. And I just feel like I take on too much, and I just don't know how to let people down. So I wear myself out with just going ahead and just doing it. So thank you for acknowledging that. But I mean, her communication, she don't like nobody speaking over her. Nobody. I can just be expressing myself, because I'm learning to tell people how I feel. Because that's one thing my mama told me. She said, hey, you need to start telling people how you feel. Stop harboring it. Because once you keep harboring it, you're going to blow up at this person. So now it's just like, if she says something to me and I don't agree with it, I'm going to voice how I feel. You know what I'm saying? But her, she like, okay, I hear you. She quick to shut you down, because it's like, I think she feels like she's being like, I don't even know the word. So because I'm the big sister, and it just make like I'm being a mom or I'm being a parent, or that's how she look at me. But she's very quick. Don't cut me off, because I ain't cut you off. She's very quick to just be like, okay, I get it. I'm sorry. But if you're not actually listening to me, you're gonna do that shit again. Because you only was thinking like, I don't want to hear this shit. You put me in a situation, you put me in a place where I feel, attacked. And that's just me personally. Like, I never sought out to attack my sister. Never. But I know when my mama left this earth, she left me being a big sister, being that head honcho, believe it or not.
But with communication, outside of that, I think I'm very good with telling how I feel.
Yes.
I don't have an issue with telling how I feel or telling it like it is. I've just always been like that. That's probably one of the traits I've gotten from my mom. Yeah. I think I got one of my traits from my mom as far as communication, and she got it from my dad.
Yeah. But you definitely got that from mommy, because you are very expressive. Yeah. Very expressive, but when it's a receptive part, you need to work on your receptive skills.
So speaking of, no, go ahead.
Oh,
go ahead. Now I'm good.
Being receptive.
Yeah, go ahead.
That's a part of the communication. I ain't struggled through that communications class for nothing. Goddamn it, But now it's just like, you have to receive what somebody is telling you, regardless of how you might think that, oh, this person is attacking me. But if you know me, we sisters, we live together. You know damn well I'm not attacking you. I just want to be able to have a voice. You know what I'm saying? I want to have a voice.
But
I don't want to be shut down every time, I feel a certain type of way.
Are we talking about in a relationship standpoint or us?
It could be in general.
Okay.
Or in a relationship.
This is sistership. This is a relationship.
Yeah.
So I think, as much as I be like, we need to separate, but I think we did this the right way because now we like, okay, this is not what I'm going to accept. And we actually learning from each other on how to communicate and how to, what I tell the kids when I was working with the kids and when I tell these kids, use your words. That is very important because ain't nobody no mind readers unless you're a damn psychic. And I ain't there yet. I got a few intuitive abilities, but I ain't no psychic and I'm not going to read your mind. So you have to communicate that.
Yeah.
However you communicate. If you want to yell a little bit, okay, that's how you communicate. Yeah, and I'm gonna just, hear what I think is said. Because some people just are very loud or they yell, but what they saying to be meaningful. Some people are just very meaningful when they speak. And it's not to be angry or anything. It's just like, shit, I want you to know I mean it.
I can say I communicate. So with that, I said the sisterhood. Well, Quita said the sisterhood part. But as far as like relationships, like I'm very standard on what I want. And I think a lot of things that kind of push people away because I don't want to. If you say, come on, let's chill at my crib, I'm going to more than likely tell you no. Facts. I want to go out to dinner or should I even accept a $8 wine tasting? Yeah. But I don't want to chill at your crib. I don't want you coming to my crib. I don't want to do that. And I'm going to express that. I'm not going to leave you on red. I'm not going to ignore you. I'm not going to play around with it and play with your head. So the moral of the story with me is I'm going to be very direct. Like my communication is very direct. If you make me mad, you will know. And if I ain't tell you, you probably ain't make me mad, or it's probably
her facial expressions and her actions gonna speak louder than the fucking words.
Period.
But enough about that. Let's move on.
Yeah. So speaking of communication and relationships, what are your relationships like with your kids' father? Fathers.
I'll go first. I'm gonna be very honest. It's like I have a second child and he has other kids. I only knew about 2 because that was my best friend. Like that still is my best friend because when he come around, we're even though no matter how pissed off he make me, we're inseparable. That's my best friend.
Right back.
But okay. But it's like I have a second child. I feel like I have to tell him when my child needs this, what he needs to do and just things like that. So the relationship is good the communication is good on my side, but I push him to communicate. Like I'll ask him something as far as, can y'all hear that fan in the back? Here, Quitty, here go a whole fan right here. Just put it in front of you. That's why I put it right here. It's quiet.
Not hot. I'm smoking.
But I feel like I shouldn't have to tell him certain things. And it's like when I do, I don't want to hear, let me see, or I got you, when you tell me I got you, that means I need it done ASAP. Because I'm a prideful woman. So I'm not gonna come to you unless I really need something. And that's even with my child's dad. So if I tell you I need something, like don't wait until I tell you Thursday, you wait until Saturday or Sunday to finally get it. And that's my thing. So I don't think it's a communication error with my side, but it's definitely a communication error with his side. And that's what pisses me off. Because if you have things going on in your life or you have situations, I understand we're not together, but as your child's mother, I feel like you owe me to communicate. What you got going on, why you can't come see your child, or why you have to cancel with your child. Don't just tell me I'll make it up to and I'll explain later. Never explain. With the communication with my child's dad. Wow, Quita. Did it slip out?
You did.
But don't. My thing is communication, and the fact that I talk to him all the time about just communicating. Like, I don't have to go 0 to 100 as long as you communicate and let me know what's going on. Because at the end of the day, that was my best friend, so I know him. You know, I know his situations. I know he's, you know, a little irresponsible with certain things, but I just need more communication. I just feel like now that we have a child together, he communicates less, and that's what pisses me off. He only really communicates, and this is to be very honest, about certain things is when she's around, when we have a mediator. But when it's just like texting back and forth, and he doesn't really communicate at all about shit.
What
So,
should be
what should
communicated.
be. Yeah. So that's mine.
Like I said earlier, I'm mom and dad. There is no relationship. There is no one that exists at this moment in time. So I'm a very big stickler on dating now. You know, like I've been, you know, in the dating scene for a long time now. Like, you know, you talk to people and you want to get to know them and you try to get to know them, but it never goes past just trying to get to know them.
Mhm.
That's the stage I've been in since I've been a mother. And I'm okay with that. You know, she's 9 now. And I think I've done a hell of a job, along with, you know, my support system. My family has held me down this entire time, even when I went away to school, whether I'm working, you know, all of that, you know. So I don't have a father in my child's life right now, you know. So, and I'm okay with that because I know God making somebody up there special for us. So I'm very patient.
He already made.
He already made it.
I
Come
heard that
on,
lucky guy is. He already here.
come on now.
Yeah, you gotta start communicating.
I do have to start communicating, and I want to piggyback off of that as well. Like I said, I'm not I don't like hurting people's feelings. You know, I just be like, oh my God, they keep calling, they keep, you know, ever since she pinpointed that out, like, you need to communicate this. You need to tell them, because I don't want to feel like that one particular person is my last resort. So I'm not going to hurt their feelings, and that's a trait that I do not want to have or to even pass down to my child, because if it's like a puzzle piece, if that motherfucker don't fit, try another one, you know? So I just don't want to continue to keep dating these people that don't have a future for themselves or even a future in my life. You know, even after we've been talking for a year, they feel like, you know, like I don't never have no bad rapport with, it's only been one that I've had a bad relationship and we don't keep in contact, but I still keep in contact with majority of, you know, the men I've talked to or whatever, and we still kind of kick it or whatever, you know, the case may be. But you know, I'm kind of overwhelmed with just that, because I know my worth. You know, I've been learning my worth for a long motherfucking time, and it's just like, okay, you know, how many years am I gonna keep wasting my time? But in all actuality, I'm actually not wasting my time. I'm still learning exactly what I want and what I need, you know, because I am raising a queen, you know. So I have to make sure that, you know, she got somebody to look up to and somebody that's gonna not look at her as a stepchild. So
I hear that. So sad, sister.
Yeah, that's dope. What has the experience of being a single mother taught you about yourself?
I'll go first.
Since you've been doing it for longer than I have.
I since having my daughter, she gave me a lot of drive. Wait, repeat that question again. I'm drinking wine. I repeat it again so I can mention it.
No, I said, what has the experience of being a single mother taught you about yourself?
Resilience. And I know a lot of people just Oh, the resilience word. Like I read something the other day about, stop using the word resilience, but like for real, like resilience, you know how a rubber band snap back? You can stretch it, stretch it until it can't stretch no more. But guess what? It's gonna snap back.
Facts.
So I look at my child taught me resilience and she taught me drive. Like after I had her, I worked at McDonald's when I was in high school. I was in college and being 23, having a daughter, I'm just like, I don't have my degree yet. And that was something that that was a goal I always wanted to reach. And when I worked at McDonald's, 2012, going into 2013, I just knew like my worth was bigger than this. And so she just taught me, how to just keep it moving, to want better, to do better. Had I not had her, I don't think I even would have got back in school to even reach that point of getting my degree. Like I couldn't even see myself graduating. You know how you can see yourself, I can see myself, finishing this. I didn't. Even the night before, I'm just like, I was in awe because I'm like, ain't no way, boy. I made it. You know what I'm saying? And it was all because of my daughter. It was because I had some little person looking up to me, and shit, that's what being a single mom is about. I know a lot of women don't have, the strength or the exact traits, but just being a single mom in itself is very overwhelming, but it's rewarding because you doing all of this by yourself and you making shit happen. Like, can't nobody say shit to me. I'm straight, seriously. Nobody can say anything to me that's gonna make me feel less than, because I know my worth, and I know my worth as a mom. I should say that. My worth as a mom, I know I've come a long way being a mother. And shit, it was like God prepared me already to be somebody's mom. Like for real. That's my little homie.
With me, I can say that it taught me, I'm gonna be very honest, being a mom taught me how irresponsible I used to be. I was very, as far as money wise, I was very irresponsible. And, she was a surprise for me. So I was in the prime, I'm not gonna lie. I was 26. I was in the prime of my life. So, I was so used to getting my hair did, nails did, everything did every week, popping bottles. And, I didn't really have to save because I didn't have no other. I was staying at home with my mom and my dad. So it's just like, if I don't have it, I know that my mom and my dad got me, or one of my big sister and one of my big brothers got me. One of my big brothers. Fuck it. But it taught me that I was once upon a time real irresponsible. I didn't really too much care about like jobs or, keeping income or whatever like that. And having a child taught me that I had to learn patience. I had to learn patience real bad.
Still learning, baby.
Still learning. We all are.
This girl is a firecracker.
We all are. Who, Keegan? Yeah. So she's really working with my patience. And that's one thing, that's the only thing I can say, honestly. She taught me how to be responsible and patient. And that's one thing, anybody that don't have a kid, you probably just not that, no matter how old you are. So that's one thing I learned about myself. So
that's great. So what would you say is some of the best advice you ever got from your dad?
Honestly, one of the best things that my dad, and it's about to be funny, but it's facts. Everything was, that's too easy, boss. Everything. Like solving problems, putting shit together, or, just whatever. I feel like that mentality he has he passed it down to us.
Mhm.
You feel me? Like, that's too easy. If I can't, I can't figure it out, I'm gonna find a way to figure it out. And I think that as far as motherhood or the days when I'm broke, I always figure it out.
Mhm.
And I think that's what he didn't say it per se, that's what he meant, but I know that's what he meant. Like, that's too easy.
Yeah.
You feel me? Like, life is not as hard as everybody make it seems. And that's one thing that I can say that he taught me. And then other than just working hard. That's it. Whether you sick, whether you don't feel like it, you got to work hard. You got to work. Why? Because you have to provide. And at this moment in life, we have to provide.
Yeah.
So ain't no sitting around chilling. Ain't no popping bottles every weekend, getting sections and shit like that. We have to provide. So that's one thing that he taught us. And he also, another for me, I do apologize. He taught me that name brand, you can have however much money you want in a bank, but name brand is not important. Certain things are just not important. My daddy still has a 6+. He's still wearing shoes that he didn't have
This
for over 10 years.
That's my daddy.
Can he afford to get, these new things? Yes, he can.
Yeah.
But his mindset is, it don't matter. Who am I trying to impress? And that's another thing. That's how I am. Because I go on Walmart or Target and find a cute ass shirt. It'll be for like $5, especially if it's on sale. I'll definitely love it. And it's just like, that's me. And that's definitely cute, So you can go ahead and piggyback off that.
I get a lot of those traits from my daddy. Like, this man literally put on some shoes he had in 1970 and walked straight after motherfuckers.
It was a mommy visitation, right?
My mom visitation, like, this man, he was on his feet for like 30 minutes at the most. He sat down the rest of it because he decided to put on some shoes. He got back in 1990 something, and his feet was hurting. He was walking like he should have had crutches, okay? And I think that's one trait I got from my daddy. Like, you can reuse this shit, but it's a time frame.
Yeah, definitely.
You can save it, but it's a time frame on it.
Yeah.
And another major thing he has taught me that a lot of people need, they need consultants and all of that. Just saving, money management.
Yes.
Money management is like, wow.
Yes.
Ain't got it, man. I don't know how I do it. And I know it's because of my dad, because that's how he been, but he ain't ever like sat down with me like, you need to do this, you need to do that. So I ain't gonna necessarily say like this is what he taught me, but just sitting back and just watching, that man can manage the hell out of some money now.
Yeah.
He can make a way out of no way. Like, so that's one trait that I thank God my dad has gotten me to. Like, it took a whole lot of me to not even, like, I finally, I've always worked in my field, but I finally got a job that was paying me decent enough, or whatever. And my dad was kind of salty because I'm not there anymore, but it was a sacrifice. Is it gonna be my mental health and my physical health, or was it gonna be me having money? That don't even make sense. But yeah, of course I'm gonna have money, but what am I risking? I'm risking my mental health. I'm risking, my livelihood for a job. If I die today, they're gonna be like, shit, your job on Indeed the next day. You know what I'm saying? So that's something that, I learned that from my daddy, because my daddy was all about work. And I'm learning, I'm like, we gonna work and then we gonna get his age and be like, damn, I ain't never been to shit. We went to Jamaica. I'm 33. We went to Jamaica. My daddy ain't never been out the country. Okay.
Canada, but
he been to Canada, but we ain't need no passports for that.
Yeah, it was.
We went straight through that bitch, and we had a trunk full of liquor. My daddy, and I was young, he said he told them they ain't had no liquor in the trunk, but they did here or there. Sorry, daddy.
Statute of limitations. You know what I'm saying? We all good.
But when he ain't got no liquor.
But still in all, it's just like, You know, you can save all the hell you want. But when you leave this earth, did you enjoy what you saved?
Exactly.
Did you invest in something that you wanted? Did you live with that money? Probably not. And that's one thing I gained from my dad. I'm like, it's gonna be in my savings. Yeah, I'm gonna save for something, but I want to still live my life. And my mother has taught me that, like, tomorrow is not promised at all. And that's one thing my dad is finally realizing, that it's not promised. This money ain't going nowhere, you know? So yeah, definitely just living life. Living life and knowing that shit, life goes on. It definitely goes on. It is not gonna stop for you. It's not gonna stop for your savings. It's not gonna stop for that job that you've been holding down for 20 plus years. It's not going to stop.
No, it's not.
I ain't gonna lie. At first, it was just like, dang, it's an accomplishment. He been on the job like longer than I've even been alive, and I'm 29 now. Like at first, like, you know, cool. But it's just like now in this day and age, it's just like that is, with me, it's just not enough for me. It's not. Like, I get it, the seniority and stuff like that, but it's just not enough for me anymore. And I don't want to be that, like I said early on, I don't want to be that type that, you know, when my kid got something important going on, like a graduation or, you know, their birthday or anything like that, I don't want to be like, well, I gotta work. No, I'm gonna put this on my calendar. If you know, if possible, you know, I'm gonna just tell Muzz, like, I can't do it in no interview this day, or I'm not performing this day, or my performance gonna be around, you know, my child. Just stuff like that. Like, I don't want to be that type of parent, you feel me, that can't make it for their child.
Yeah.
And my daddy was one of those things. So that's an attribute that I never want to have. But yeah. Did that answer your question?
Yeah, it did.
Okay.
You know, I want to, you know, I follow y'all, right?
Mhm.
So recently y'all had episode, it was 2 episodes where y'all talked about co-parenting.
Oh, Lord.
So can I guess can you talk about like what was your intent for that show, and just talk about the show in general.
So my intention, yes, baby. I'm sorry, y'all.
We got interruptions.
Give me one moment. I told you to go get us food.
Babies are welcome too. So,
Okay, but
let her talk. I'm gonna go get a shirt.
okay, thank you.
We out here. We record.
But this is how recordings always is. We gotta stop because it's her more than likely. But our intent was to just get a female aspect and a male aspect of co-parenting. Somebody that has multiple kids, which was the girl Mumu that we had. But she takes care of all her kids with, you know, a dad that's not so present in life versus a dad that has multiple kids with multiple women, but, you know, he's in their life, like he's in their life. And just to get the perception on that, because I ain't want another, you know, I ain't want to put another deadbeat dad on top of this girl that's going through a situation with a deadbeat dad. So I just wanted to, you know, have perspective, and yeah, just have perspective. And he had a lot of things to say, you know. I couldn't admit it on camera because, you know, I got to stick up for my women, but it's a lot of things that he did say, you know, that did kind of make sense, you know, where he said that, you know, when we have our kids, we only have them a certain amount of times, you know, a day, because they at school, we at work, you know, and they get off work. We get off work, my bad, and they get out of school. You know, it's time for dinner, it's time for homework. It's not that much time. Versus with the daddy on the weekend, yeah, they got to spend that time, and it's probably all fun and games. So I understood that part, but our intent was to get just 2 perceptions and a little drama. You know, we knew that it was going to be a little drama, a little, you know, mugs going out of their character, because, you know, we real big on communication nowadays, and that's what we need to do. So, yeah. You got anything to add, sis? Yeah. Here she comes. Sorry. Say hi.
Hello.
Hey there.
Sorry.
No, you all good.
That was smart.
I know. So this is our life, y'all, like for real. With that episode, you know, I actually sat back and watched it, and a lot of stuff that, you know, went on in the video, the recording, I didn't really agree with, especially from a woman's standpoint. Like, it was just a lot of anger from the woman guest that we had towards these men that she don't know from a can of paint. You know, I just felt like she was taking it out on them, you know, instead of actually communicating that with that individual.
And vice versa, though.
And vice versa.
Vice
You're
versa,
right.
yeah. Vice versa.
Because it was just like, okay, how do you, me being a mother, I can't imagine my daughter being gone every weekend. I can't, because I'm doing all this hard work. I want to have some fun now. But if you always gone and this parent is showing you all the fun, taking you here, taking you there, and they're not really actually doing anything during the week, like taking you to school, picking you up from school, taking you to your extracurricular things, working on with your homework. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? That's all fulfilling and all, but that's still work for us as women, you know? And a lot of women may or may not have that patience to help their kid. I know every time I help my daughter with homework, she dreaded because I'm end up yelling because she know that shit, but that's a different subject. But it some points did, like you said, Ellie, like dropping the kids off and they gone all day, and then now all you have to do is like bathe them, feed them, you know. Some parents help with homework if their kid need help, and then that's the end of the day, and then you're doing it all over. But you at work 8 hours, and being in the field that I'm in, a lot of these parents don't work. You know, when I was, you know, working, but still taking them to daycare, literally from the time they open to the time they close. Like, some women do abuse this shit. Yeah. But I know me, I was picking my kid up, and it was just me and my kid in Carbondale. I was picking her up and taking her to classes with me. You know, that's the difference between me and them. You know, and I just feel like the sides were just so biased. It was like they was reading off a script and just going off of emotion. You know,
the guys,
just on both sides.
On both sides.
You know, and I did feel myself kind of getting upset. A lot of stuff that I said did have to be edited because I was just upset, and it wasn't at them. You know, it was something that I never addressed, and I never, you know, figured out on my own. Not even on my own, but just came to the realization like this is what I'm doing right now. This is what's happening in my life right now. Ain't nobody to blame. You know, nobody's to blame because everybody got a life to live. I'm not saying that your life, you're going to have the perfect, you're going to meet that one, y'all going to have kids together, y'all don't stay together forever. Nah, this shit real right here.
Yeah. But we did get like kind of a negative effect with that show, with that episode, because so one of the guys, he came on, and he the whole time we was prepping, he was just like, I got some shit to say. Yeah. I got some shit to say. And he said it. And if you watch the show, you know exactly who the fuck it is. And it got to a couple of his kids' moms, and it was not a positive impact on that. And
they thought it was us being messy. No. Yeah. We posing the questions, but we ain't nowhere in hell. We feeding. Well, we got a script for these motherfuckers. Yeah, so it was a little negativity towards our part. You know, the guy, he was just like, can you take, you know, I can't ask y'all to take it down because I know y'all would. And I said, yeah, we're not gonna take it down. And because of that episode, we start doing contracts now to let people know
You know, if you say it, that clearly means you mean it, meaning that it's sticking. You know, and if it's put out, then, you know, okay, cool. But yeah, that was our purpose of it, pretty much to get two different sides of a guy with multiple kids that take care of his kids, and then a girl with multiple kids whose dad is barely, or dads, I'm not quite sure how many child. Yeah, I'm not quite sure. That should have been a question we asked, but who's not active in their lives. So that was our purpose.
Yeah. Our purpose was just trying to, because I was the eyeball, honestly. I was the eyeball. So I couldn't, you know, for a few years, yes, you know, I've had that experience of, you know, co-parenting, but now I can't even piggyback off it. All I can do is speak about the, you know, the past or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But just to be in the middle, to mediate, right? I've always been a mediator, but just to sit amongst, it did kind of bring a lot of, like, I felt that they were being selfish. You know what I'm saying? I really did. I ain't even gonna lie, because at the end of the day, I didn't hear a lot of how the kids felt. I heard a lot of what the adults felt. Facts. Mm-hmm. I didn't hear a lot about the effects on the kids. I just heard about how the adults feel, because, oh, that's my time. Oh, I got to spend the whole weekend. I literally have to deal with things from morning to, you know, evening, and the women can just drop them off. And okay, so how do kids feel? Did you ever sit down and ask them, how do they feel? Because they humans, they can communicate. Yeah. And if they can't, their actions gonna speak. Mm-hmm. But being a parent, you have to literally understand your kids' actions before you can understand their fucking words, Joe. Because all kids are not verbal.
That's good.
You have to see where your kid at, like how they react to this person, how they react going every weekend. Are they crying because maybe they didn't get to spend this much time with you, or they didn't even, you know, do all of that? Like, I'm a conscience liver. I've never liver. I'm a conscious thinker. I'm a conscious thinker. You know, I always just think like, okay, I've started being that person. Mm-hmm. You know, just a few years back, I've not always been someone that thinks, you know, based off of, okay, maybe they feel this way or maybe they feel this way. I've not always been like that, but more recently, I've been one of those people that's just been conscious about other people's feelings, or conscious about, okay, maybe they going through something, or maybe they're not experiencing certain things the way I experience. Because if somebody got 3-4 baby mamas, all the baby mamas ain't getting the same treatment. No, know that. And vice versa.
I can testify with that.
So it is what it is.
Not getting the same treatment, but yeah,
I'm probably talking too much. Come on, bring on these questions now. I got a lot to say.
No, y'all dropping some gems, real, man. As far as the kids, like understanding your kids' actions, like really paying attention, like being present. That's
at the end of the day. At the end of the day, when you lay down, whether you married or you're not, and you had these kids, you have to understand that whether they are 5 or 30, they are your responsibility. Probably not monetarily most of the time, but mentally, they're your responsibility. Ooh. They are.
Yes.
They really are.
What's that saying? When they on your lap when they young. But when they get older, they on your brain.
Oh man, I miss my mom, man. She definitely taught us that. She say that all the time.
And it doesn't resonate.
Yeah, that's facts, sis.
Until you get kids. Your kids ain't gotta be older, but it's like, yeah, they on my lap. Like, I'm gonna be truthfully honest. My baby be wanting to cuddle. And sometimes she fall asleep in my arms. And I'm like, oh, she's too old for this. And then when she get older and I'm trying to cuddle and do all of this, she like, I don't have time for it. Now I'm reminiscing, I'm missing something that could have been done up until she didn't want to do it anymore. You know, and some people, some families, some parents cut it off. Like, it's a cutoff point. Ain't no cutoff with love and support.
No.
There's no cutoff. Because when that child grows into an adult, they're gonna need just as much
Facts. That's very true.
love and
Guidance, for sure.
Guidance,
Yeah.
definitely. And support most of all. Because my baby might grow up and be like, Mommy, I just wanna own my own lawn service. I'm like, fam, you got this whole degree, But being a parent, you have to support and kind of, go with the flow with your kid.
Yeah.
Because if it don't work out for them and they feeling, down and they feel like a failure, who's going to be there to pick them up?
Yeah.
The parent.
Yeah.
So I hate the saying, not even with a passion, I strongly hate it. Oh, I got to spend 18 years. We got 18 years. No, that 18-year cutoff is non-existent.
Yeah.
You're not a parent just for 18 years, motherfucker.
You're a parent for the rest of
stupid.
your whole life.
Lifelong, man.
Literally.
Yeah.
But
literally.
Oh.
Yeah. So I did ask a question that y'all already answered already. The question was, what does fatherhood mean to you? And it was real short and sweet. I'm gonna read it. Y'all said it's very important in both a woman and man's life. Can y'all elaborate a little bit more on that?
So it's very important in both women and men's life. Okay, so I'm gonna speak in a woman, and then I'll speak what I think in a guy, because I'm not raised in a guy and I'm not a guy. But I think in a woman's life, we having a father, you feel me, that's just there and just as active and treating you like a princess, like that princess and prince thing. That shit is real. Like, you the princess, I'm your king, and this is what you need. Which is what you need to look for in a prince. That shit is real.
That's gonna eventually be a king.
Yeah, that's gonna eventually be a king.
No fairy tale shit though.
Shut up. But yeah, so I think that men in a woman's life show us how we should be treated, and men in another man's life show how they should treat a woman in life in general. You feel me? Like how they should go about life in general. 1 second, I'm sorry.
Okay, go ahead.
What'd she say? Okay. But yeah, so that's one thing for me. Like I feel like a man will teach you, your father will teach you how you should be treated, which is what Q kind of, said. She was just like, I wish that my dad and, my brother, although that's not our dad, but, just still, put us on game, like when they met the guys that we said that we were interested in, well, you need to watch out for this, or, guys are like this, or when I was younger, I was like this what I used to do. So this is what you need to watch out for.
They kind of went with the flow of things. Yeah. And I think that it was going based off of just walking on eggshells because they didn't want to, step on no toes. But as women, we want that. We want the men that's active in our lives to step on some toes.
Yeah.
It shouldn't always have to have been, in my situation, my mama and my little sister making sure that my mental health was on point.
Yeah. Because I was down to men.
Yeah, I was struggling. Being a single mom, I'm just like,
yeah. Like
it was just so many circumstances. I'm gonna say that for another episode or whatever. Probably one of part two. But it's just like, it shouldn't always it takes a village to raise a child. It sounds so cliche, but that shit
is real.
It's absolutely true.
Yeah.
It's absolutely true. And it's just like, I feel like my mom was doing everything. And my brother is like 5 years older than me. I don't even know how old this nigga is right now. He just getting older. But that older brother, because I have 2 older brothers. One is in my life consistently. The other is when they want to. And I have 2 sisters. I have an older sister that's older than all of us. Ain't shit. And I'm gonna be totally straight up with that. I
We're
hope
talking
she
about
watches this shit.
fathers.
I don't give a fuck. This my shit right now. It's all gonna come together. Okay? All of this shit come together. This all goes into raising a village.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It takes a village. So going back to, you know, having that father figure, I kind of forgot when you dealt with it. Because I done went to my own little thing or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But just having that fatherly figure to just kind of help you process stuff that your mama couldn't.
Yeah.
It helps a lot.
Because as women and we growing up, you know, I'm gonna put myself in my mom's shoes. Like, say if I dealt with guy issues and my daughter is growing up and, you know, she's getting into guys. I ain't ready for that shit yet, but just still. And she's getting into guys or whatever. I can tell her my point of view, but I feel like as a girl to a mom, it's gonna always be like, you don't understand.
Yeah.
But if it's her dad telling her this, it's gonna be like, okay, I hear you, daddy. You know, you're a guy, so you know, I get it. This is how I should be treated. But if I'm telling my daughter like this is how you should be treated, it's gonna be like more okay, like,
are you being treated like that?
Right? Are you being treated like that,
That's
or
how you being treated?
This is what you accept, and this is what I'm seeing you accepting versus a guy. But with a son, I think moms do too, but dads play a huge part on how a young man just treat life in general, treat their elders, treat women, you feel me, treat their kids. I feel like a father has a lot to do with that, with their son. Yes, women, if I had a son, yes, I'm going to treat him how to make sure the seat put down, make sure you take the garbage out, and make sure you hold the door open for women, or make sure
not only that, he going to learn how to clean, he going to learn how to cook, he going to learn how to do everything he's societally expected for a woman to do.
Right.
He should be able to do that shit on his own.
Yeah.
No dependent.
Facts. But is that something that a man should teach another man or a woman?
It's go hand in hand.
Okay, got it.
It go hand in hand.
Especially in these days.
Because if that's what I want out of my son, that's what I'm gonna want in a man.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because if I'm doing everything for him and I'm telling my son, well, you gotta make sure you do everything, that just make it make sense.
Right.
Because if I'm doing everything for this man, kids visual.
Yeah.
Kids are very visual. They're gonna see you doing this, they're gonna see you doing that. And that's what they're gonna receive.
Yeah.
Cause shit, my attention span is short as hell when people talking. But if I see somebody doing it, I'm gonna be more focused. I'm a more visual type of learner, you know, and a lot of people are nowadays, you know. But I just feel like if that child, regardless if it's their biological father or just a legit father figure in their lives, shout out to my cousin / sister and her husband for making sure that my kids have, my kids, these are my kids. Mm-hmm. Making sure that our kids have that solid foundation. Mm-hmm. Like we don't have to worry about like who gonna, you know, my kids don't see a 2-parent home or they don't see a couple relationship. But when they go outside and we sitting with our cousin, they see both parts. Yeah. They get the Auntie Stacy and they get the Uncle D, and they do everything together. It's not just we sending them with another woman and they only getting a woman's perspective. Right. No, they know they covered by both. They know they got support from both. Yeah. You know, so that goes back onto a village, you know. Yeah, I'm sorry, y'all. I'm all over the place. They know we got a lot to say. I do. Yeah.
Oh, y'all good, man. This is
really neat. It's like making my brain percolate.
Yeah. No, I hear that though. I definitely hear that. I definitely hear that. You know, just having a male figure in a life.
Yeah. They don't have to be biological. They don't.
But yeah, that's what that's what I was pretty much saying with like fatherhood or whatever. Like, treat you how to be a princess, because I feel like as a woman, you should be a princess, and then you should want to be you should of course grow up. You want to be a queen. A male, I feel like they should be raised as, their father should raise them as you already the king, meaning that you are the ruler, you are the provider, you are this. Make sure you open doors for women. That's what I had stopped at.
Mm-hmm.
When you in a car with a woman, you don't let them get out and pump no gas.
Period.
You feel me? And
Open
I feel like
door.
Open their door, not all the time.
When I'm getting out the car, don't rush me.
Not all the time. Maybe y'all may think that, okay, well, I gotta open the door for my woman, clear like that, but not all the time. When it's something special, then cool. But as far as like pumping gas, taking out the trash and, making sure you're clean. And then just as far as just communication, I feel like that with the guy, that all comes from his father. Now we can teach him, how to cook, make sure you know how to cook. So when you live on your own, or, when your woman ain't taking care of you, right? Yeah, we can do that. And then we can treat them how to be romantic to a woman. Because like I've seen with my mom and my brother and a lot of women with their sons, they taught them how to be, Mother's Day, I'm gonna get you flowers.
Yeah.
Valentine's Day,
Yeah.
I'm gonna call you, I'm gonna wish you a happy Valentine's Day. I'm gonna get my mama some flowers.
Mm-hmm.
But it takes a dad to just be able to take care of their whole household. And
Because low key, the responsibilities should be equal. Because naturally women are caretakers. Not all women, but some women are actually natural caretakers, And as for men, they have a huge responsibility as well.
Yeah, and even bigger, honestly.
Definitely, yeah. Like even bigger. Man, even if you see, like, if a woman see a man out and they got their kid and they see a woman right next to that man with a kid, they gonna make sure they acknowledge that man. Oh, he got his child.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, he's buying her this. Oh, he's picking her up. But that mama right next to him, struggling like a motherfucker with this one kid or however many kids she got. But there's no acknowledgement on that she doing her shit. Mm-hmm. Example, I was in Dollar Tree yesterday, and his mom, I think she had like 2 girls. And I didn't think twice about saying, she's doing her thing, she's making sure her kids know to put this on the belt, to do this and then the other. But had it been, the girls had been switching, it was a male, it would have been like, wow. Yeah. He's teaching this young girl how to shop. He's teaching her how to do this, when single mamas got to do that shit. And something. So just watching a father that's probably gonna take that kid, no shade against no father. A father that's doing this because they only got this one day or they only got this weekend to actually show that child before they take them back to their mom is a very critical moment for that child. It's critical. But for a mom, it's just like, oh, I gotta take these little motherfuckers to the store with me again. Let's see how they gonna act. But when a dad takes me, it's like it's gonna be an experience instead of don't touch this, don't touch that. I ain't never seen, my dad ain't never told me don't touch this, don't touch that. Shit. And I don't know, shit, he probably was picking up a whole lot of little itty bitties in the stove that was looking at him. Because he always had us.
Next question.
All right, so if y'all can go back to the 16, 17-year-old you, what advice would you give him?
Go first.
Y'all thinking about it?
Wheels are spinning.
I can go back to my 16-year-old, 17-year-old self, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Don't go to college. Waste of time, waste of money. Not, I ain't gonna say it's a waste of time, waste of money, of course. But I learned how to be diverse in my thinking, how to communicate, how to be around other people in different walks of life. That's one thing I learned from going to school. Did I learn everything I wanted to learn in my field? Nah, probably not. Probably not, because I don't want to be, when I graduate, I should be entry level. I should be at the top of the food chain. Because I probably worked just as hard to get this degree than what I'm going to do in this job. So I would just tell my young self, 16, 17-year-old, follow your dream. What do you want to do? What is your aspirations outside of going to school and working for somebody else? Get your own shit. You greedy bitch. I'm just playing. Well, but just getting your own shit though, for real.
Mine is waiting for sex. That's for sure.
Well, why do you say that?
Right.
Why I say that?
Yeah.
I just feel like, huh?
No, go ahead.
No.
Looking over his glasses. Quiet man.
Nah, for real. At 16 and 17, we around our friends. Well, me personally, I was around my friends. I was the only virgin out the group. So, huh?
So you thought?
No, I was the only virgin out the group.
So you thought? But go ahead.
No, baby, I was the only virgin out the group. I promise you I was. But
Nothing wrong with it?
We're not gonna go there. Like I said, I was the only virgin out the group. Okay, so I thought we're gonna keep it at that. Anyway, so from my knowledge, I was the only virgin out the group at around that time, and it was just such a rush to just. I'm hearing about their experiences and stuff like that, and I'm just like, oh, it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be all good and games, but once you start, especially when you lose your virginity to someone. Soul ties are very real, and I've been believing in that since probably the beginning of college, and I've been just researching that. Soul ties are very real, and it's just like you have to watch who you give that sexual energy to because it's real. And that's really all I gotta say. Like, I just wish I would have just waited until I understood, rather than just sleeping with not saying the first horny guy, but just sleeping with just another horny teenager, with no intentions or whatever like that to, marry me, or no intentions to, treat me how I need to be treated. My virginity was taken, and I feel like I was treated as an option next. And it's just like in a young woman's life, I don't know how it is in y'all life, but in a young woman's life, like that is very, I don't know, it's like it's a kind of a rite of passage, and it's just like it's very emotional when somebody take your virginity. It's more than just popping a cherry and like that. So I just wish I would have waited until I really understood. The how can I say this?
The long-term impact.
There you go, sis. The long-term impact of being sexually active.
Nobody tell us we're gonna want it again.
Yeah, facts.
And again.
And again. If that person couldn't, and I ain't gonna lie, and if that person couldn't give it to us, we have to have that craving, so we're gonna find it. And that's where that whole stage comes about.
Promiscuity. We're not saying the whole
stage.
Promiscuity.
Whole stage.
Okay.
Promiscuity.
Whole stage.
Go down.
So women crave sex like that?
Yes.
Probably a little bit more than men.
Probably, yes.
Really?
But we crave it because it's just like we want that feeling again. Y'all just want, some guys probably just want that, I just want to just get it over with. Like, that's all y'all want. We want that like that feeling like you love me type of thing. And that me personally,
not necessarily saying love.
I wanted that feeling like, okay, you love me. I wanted you to look me in my eyes. I wanted you, to cuddle with me afterwards. I wanted that. I've never been in that stage of my life where you know, I did, and it's just like, okay, nigga, bye. I never have. Me personally, I've always been that, you know, where I needed a connection. You feel me?
Yeah.
But that's just me personally. She got something different, I guess. Go ahead.
What?
You said no, you never been that type of just
love. Not. I ain't gonna say the L word, the love word, but it's just sometimes when a woman feels like, oh, I've gotten too fat. Oh, I don't look how I look. Oh, look at my face. Oh, I got blemishes. Oh, it's so many different, negative qualities that we think about ourselves. And then when we meet somebody and they be like, oh, you sexy, or oh, you thick, you this and that.
It turns you on.
It's a turn on. It make you feel
empowered,
make you feel sexy,
and you want to keep that feeling.
Continue to keep that feeling.
That's facts.
And it's not always about love. Motherfuckers be like, women look at the emotional part.
That is an emotional part, though.
I mean, like, oh, I love this person. Oh, I just want a relationship with this person. It's not always based off of, wanting something more, because at the end of the day, we are all sexual beings.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's the reason why men have penises, women have vaginas, because it's a puzzle piece, they fit together or whatever. So I don't think there's anything wrong with being in tune with your sexuality and being in tune with, receiving or even giving. I don't think it should even be like that, because there's always a bias. Oh, women had this many niggas, and men had this many niggas. Yeah, niggas you had da, 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 da. But with women, oh, how many people you slept with? Oh, you're all this. But at the end of the day, it's just like, was that woman doing it to be known, or was it to make herself feel wanted, or to make herself feel beautiful or empowered?
Yeah.
Like, it go, man.
But to answer your question, yes, when I feel like women do crave that more than men, and it's just because we're more emotional beings. Yeah. So we want that affection, that reassurance, just for a woman. I don't care if you didn't got a BBL or you skinny or you big or whatever. Just for a man to admire your body in that moment, it makes us feel empowered. It makes all of our flaws just disappear. Yeah. So yeah, to answer your question, yes, I feel like women do crave it more than men, and it's just for that reason. Yeah.
Mm. So, do you feel like, how people say, like, if they have an addict in their family or whatever, they chasing that first high, or that first hit that they got, or whatever they do. You know what I mean? Like, if somebody take heroin and it's the first time that they take it, every other time they compare it to that first time, right?
Yes. Me personally, yes.
Hell no.
Me personally, yes. That is what it is. That's what the whole phase is all about.
No.
Yeah, sexually, is that what y'all saying? Are you comparing every other time to that first time, or the feeling that you got from that first time?
Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
It's like you just chasing. You don't know it consciously, but it's like you just chasing after that same feeling that first time gave you, or that first couple times with this. Well, that's me personally. 1 second, you guys.
You got some more. Go get it out your cup. Go ahead. You're a big girl. I just gave you a whole box, so it ain't going that fast.
Probably is.
It's not.
Over there being some good mamas.
Oh, it is. But what was the question again?
So, do you feel like, how like a drug addict, when they first get their first high?
I already know. Okay. I disagree.
And why do you disagree?
I disagree because it's not that you chasing that first. I'm gonna use this example because it's funny. Okay, you're right. You know how you break the seal when you drinking?
Mm-hmm.
And you just gotta keep peeing, basically. You break the seal on virginity, and it's like you just have to keep going.
Keep going.
And I don't think it's that you chasing that first high, because it will never be the same. It will never be like the first time, because it was literally your first time, your first experience. So the second time will not be your first time. It'll be the second time, third time, and so on and so forth. Not keeping numbers, but it will never be that point in time. And that's with anything in life.
Okay, so let me ask you this. So do you compare? So like, it doesn't necessarily have to be like comparing it to the first time, but people who you've been with, do you compare them and like the experiences that you have with them to other people?
Yeah, the experience. Yeah, because of that's tricky.
Come on.
No, for real, it's tricky, because you could be like, damn, that's the best I ever had, you know? And then when somebody comes a little bit better, it's not that you comparing, you like, you are comparing, because you like, okay, you are, this was the best I ever had, but damn, this motherfucker did that and some.
How was it that
you do compare?
You do compare. Yeah. But that's the same thing, though. You're chasing after that one little high. You have to admit that you just said it.
Hey,
you just said
I only smoke weed. I ain't chasing nothing more than this. So it's not the same. I'm gonna just be totally honest. I don't want nothing different, because I'm getting the same feeling. And that probably be like how it is with marriage.
Yeah, probably so. But I ain't gonna lie, like
get that same high differently.
But I'm not gonna lie, like I have.
That's it.
What?
You get the same high, but it's different each time. You still having sex, but it's gonna be different each time you have sex.
Well, why do you compare then?
Yeah, but you still comparing it in that instant.
Right. So why would you compare?
Right. Because you'd be like, damn, I just had some bubble, what is it called? OG Kush. Now I got some strawberry Kush. Yeah, you compare.
There's levels to the high.
Yeah. Or I have some tequila. Yeah. Tequila made me feel this way. But when I drank cognac made me cry. Cognac made me be in my feelings. But tequila made me feel empowered. It made me feel relaxed. It made me feel a certain type of way. So yeah, in that sense,
so you are comparing.
Yeah. I gotta compare with a whole different type of scenarios.
Yeah, so there is a comparison.
It's a comparison.
For sure.
I had to take it to something I can understand.
You say you have to take it to something you understood.
Because I'm a different type of
McDonald's cheeseburger make me feel this way. Yeah. But when I go to Burger King, but yeah,
Wendy's fries don't be like McDonald's fries, and you can't buy Wendy's fries and then go to McDonald's and get the McDonald's burger because
it won't taste the same.
That shit won't taste the same.
Mm.
You got your options,
but
that's a different.
Hey, you know what? Y'all should talk about that on y'all next episode.
Right, we definitely should. That'd be dope.
That would.
That'd be definitely dope.
On my notebook.
Write it down.
Always. Look, my notebook right here.
Dr. Young, I don't know if you want to call this one another Hall of Famer, man. I think we should hang it up in the rafters, man. What you think?
Yeah, I think we've covered a lot. And I have up in the rafters right now. What you say?
No, it's a Hall of Famer. Yeah, I'm putting it in the rafters. It's one of the great ones.
But
yeah,
I mean,
it was dope.
So the last question that we normally ask to everyone that we talk to is we got a lot of dads that's listening to this. If you have to give advice to any dad that's listening right now, what would that be?
Oh, well,
if you have to give advice to any dad that's listening right now, what would it be?
So any dad, meaning single dad,
married dad, any dad,
old ass dad, any dad,
young ass dad, granddad.
I just feel like in all relationships, communication is like at the top of the list. Communication and understanding and taking yourself out of certain situations and just putting yourself in that person's position. For example, if you having a conversation or discussion with the individual and you just like, nah, I can't, I disagree. But if you actually just stop saying you disagree because you don't know what the fuck they going through, and actually putting yourself in that position, you know, it'll kind of help you understand. Or even talking to other people, you know what I'm saying? So just communicating. It's so much shit that goes under the umbrella of communication. I'm just gonna label it as communicating. Because if you can't communicate, how the fuck you gonna know what's needed or what, you know, what others' expectations are and what your expectations are? And if you can't elaborate that or even put that shit out there, shit, it's not a relationship. So I'm ending this with communication.
Okay. So my thing is advice that I would give to dads is knowing that your kids are gonna be like you one day, some type of characteristic like you one day. So you drink a lot around them, they're gonna be like you, probably more than likely. If you got multiple kids, a few of them gonna be like you. You treat the mama bad, they're gonna be real disrespectful like you. You don't know how to keep a job, they're gonna be like you. You feel me? You a killer or you somebody that's fighting all the time, one of your kids is gonna be like you. So my advice is to just that moment when you first realize that you a dad, or you know, realize that you a dad, realize how important you are in your kid's life and in their mother's life. Understand that you play a major part. No, you did not birth them, but you play a major part. Like your semen created them, meaning that you know it's a you.
It takes two people.
It takes two, and not just one woman. So the baby not gonna always just be like me. You feel me? Or take characteristics from me. And that's what I feel like some men need to realize. When they do finally get that mentality of, I'm a dad. Like I have kids. I have people that are looking up to me. And that's the only advice. Just realize that kids are looking up to you. So if you're disrespecting their mom, more than likely they're gonna disrespect their mom, and they're gonna disrespect every woman that comes into their life. If you don't know how to keep a job, more than likely you're showing your kid that jobs, providing doesn't matter, or I'm not gonna say keep a job. I'm gonna say if you're a bum, meaning that you don't want to do shit with your life. Everything is an excuse. The word is so against Black men and blah, 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 shit like that. More than likely, one of your kids, if you have multiple kids, one of your kids is gonna end up like that.
Because like I said, kids are visual.
They are visual.
Some kids are solely based off of visual, and some other children are based off of, their own thoughts. But it's always gonna be what Mama used to say.
What, girl?
She used to be like, the apple don't fall too far from the tree.
No, it don't.
Because it's always gonna be that one child, or however many, that's gonna have traits of one parent or the other.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Just to piggyback off of what you were saying, as far as just stuff being passed down to the kid. Now I can share my story and a few of my stories. I'm gonna put all of it together. But I just had this experience tonight. I went to Aldi to get a bottle of wine, right? And I'm in line, I'm being patient. You go to Aldi, they got one effing line open, and it just pisses me off. But for some reason, I was like super patient. And when I'm walking to a store, I'm like super aware. And for some reason, I'm aware to old people and children. Like anybody outside of that, I literally don't even pay attention to them, or I don't hear them at all. So as I'm walking in, they were like, you know, the register 4 is open, the next customer can go over. And it was an elderly man. He had a walker and he had his food placed on his walker in a box. So he's just standing there and he's just trying to figure out, like, I don't know if he could hear, I don't know if he comprehended, I don't know if he couldn't understand the language or whatever. And I was just like super patient. You know, I'm like, I think they want, you know, somebody to come to 4. And then when they moved, did their hands like this, we moved forward. So mind you, only got 1 bottle of wine. And I'm just like, all these people got these full ass cars. They didn't notice that I only had 1 bottle of wine. But everybody not like that. Everybody don't see the bigger picture outside of what they got going on. Mm-hmm. So I'm in line and I just kept hearing, like, I'm just in my own brand, but I just kept hearing his card getting denied, you know? So the 3rd or 4th time it was denied, he walked away and the cashier called somebody to the front. Woo, woo. By the time she called somebody to the front, I said, how much is this order? She was like, it was 9 something, 9.15, 9.65, one in between that. And I said, okay, say less. I put my bottle of wine down and I walked up and I swiped and I paid for his shit. And when I looked up, everybody just like acknowledging the fact that I did that. And I didn't even need that. I didn't need an acknowledgement. I did that because I know how it feels to be in that predicament, or for your car to fucking decline in front of everybody. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just like, in my mind, I'm like, he's elderly. What if this is his only meal for tonight? What if this is the only meal till tomorrow or until Friday until he get his benefits? You know, so even though it might be a short period of time, my mind literally contemplates all of this shit, Joe. So after I did that, it was a man in front of me. Now I'm already cussing him out of my head because he keep looking back at me and I only got a bottle of wine. And he got a whole cart full, but once I did what I did, he acknowledged me. He was like, you stay blessed. God gonna bless you. God, you literally sending all of your treasures up to heaven, you know? And I'm thinking in my mind, like, this man didn't even let me go in front of him. But I think I brought something out of, you know, a few of the customers that did witness that. Sometimes your one act of kindness or your one gesture can trigger your surroundings. So with that being said, piggybacking off of, we're talking about fathers. Being a father, you can do one good thing and that's going to impact your child's life for the rest of their life. For the rest of their life, because they seeing you do this. Because I know me raising my kid, if she sees somebody elderly, she'll be like, mommy, I'm going to help them. Or just, she don't even think, or she don't even speak about it. She just does it because she's saying mommy do it. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So fathers are important because you can instill traits in kids that you do every day in your life.
Yeah. Them 2 days you got,
you don't even know.
Y'all just going into a store and you just
hold the door open.
Facts.
Paying for somebody that does not have it. You already passing on good traits to your kids, woman or man. Yeah. Smokin Sustuz and out.
Well, yeah.
That was dope.
Great.
Dope.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we appreciate y'all for having us for sure. We appreciate y'all for having patience because we was like 30 minutes late.
Nah, it's all good.
That's what I went through.
This is long overdue.
If I wouldn't have stayed and listened to that man or experienced what I experienced, I wouldn't have even had that revelation or that story to tell anybody.
Yeah, I guarantee somebody gonna get a lot of value from that. Just from listening to that.
Yeah. So, the whole line looked at me. Was, bless your heart. Even the cashier, she was like, "Bless your heart," and she just looked at it. He went on to the next, on to the next customer.
Yeah,
I'm just like, nah. And she, as soon as I got up there, she was like, "Did he say thank you?" I said, "Ma'am, honestly, I don't even know."
Yeah.
And guess what, y'all? When I got outside, he was parked one car away from me. He was barely probably spoke English, y'all. And I told the cashier, I'm like, I don't know if, you know, he had a hearing, you know, disability or a hearing impairment, because y'all kept saying the next person step off the floor, and he hearing them, but he didn't move because maybe he didn't comprehend what they were saying, you know? So that, man, I just took myself out, and then she was like, I'm like, maybe y'all didn't understand him, or maybe he didn't understand y'all. Is a reason why he didn't move fast enough or whatever. But as soon as I got outside, y'all, this man said, plain as day, thank you. He looked me in my eye, said, I smile. I had the mask on, I smile. I said, you more than welcome. God bless. And I walked to my car.
Right.
Period. And I low-key cried a little bit.
Nothing wrong with crying.
I did.
That
meant a lot. Like, I didn't even think twice. And I just walked up there and did it. Because I'm like, if I'm getting a link card and this man swiping his car and I got this link on my card, who am I?
Exactly.
Who am I?
And the people after you probably was paying with EBT too.
Yeah. And nobody thought twice. Like, they had enough mind to turn around and tell me. They was like, you know what I'm saying? Okay, so what was so different with y'all than me? Right. What it took me, that's why I know I'm a leader. And ain't nobody gonna tell me nothing different. Because guess what? Tomorrow they're gonna see somebody and they're gonna make sure they help them. You don't know what you instilling in anybody you surrounding yourself with. And this speaking as a parent. I'm gonna show my baby when I get angry, and if I yell at you, I'm gonna apologize. I'm gonna let you know I was wrong. Mommy was in her feelings. Mommy is going through something right now. That's the communication that a lot of motherfuckers need to understand. Communication, because these kids, they understand. But you have to communicate at a very young age.
Yeah, very young age.
Very young age. My niece ain't spent a day in school. She know how to count. She know her colors. She know how to do her shapes. She know how to do all of that because we communicated. I'm done, y'all.
No, you good.
Oh, no, thank y'all. That for real.
Powerful stuff.
Yeah, thank y'all.
No,
Before we sign out, let the people know where they can get in contact with you.
So you guys can get in contact with us. We are doing better with answering our emails. If you want, event hosting or DJing, or you need the 360 video booth, or even want to just get on our show, you can hit us up at smokinsustaz@gmail.com. That's SMOKIN SUSTAZ @gmail.com. She looking at me because I always get it wrong.
Always mess it up.
Or you can find us on Instagram at SUSTAZ SMOK.
No, bitch.
Oh, go ahead. Look.
SMOKIN SUSTAZ. And you can find us on Instagram.
See, I always get it wrong.
Instagram and YouTube, Smokin Sustuz.
Yeah.
Facebook is different. Facebook is THA Smokin Sustuz. SMOKIN SUSTAZ. Shout out to everybody that has followed us. Shout out to everybody that has inspired us. And shout out to everybody that has allowed us to be in their presence. You feel me?
Yeah. So we definitely got to get y'all on the show soon.
Yeah, ASAP. Until next time, y'all.
Until next time. Love y'all. Love, peace,
for the Smokin Sustuz, and for Dr. Raheem Young. Dr. Young, did you have anything else before we chalk?
No.
Okay.
Thank y'all. Thank y'all for doing this.
No
hey,
problem.
another thing I want to chime in on. If y'all got anything to donate or anything to give to the less fortunate, hit either one of our platforms, because we trying to make a difference.
Yep, we ain't trying, we doing.
Kid clothes, professional clothes. Yep. Coats, because it's getting cold.
Yeah.
Boots, any boots, that y'all not wearing. Yeah. Definitely for sure. Hit any one of us up, because we ain't gonna do nothing but hit y'all up for it. That's definitely, and shout out to y'all for even doing that. Yeah. That's for sure. That was
shout out to Welcome to Fatherhood. Like I do have a father, but we'll talk about that. Like, yeah, like y'all making noise now.
Nah,
man.
Shout out to
making
that, though.
noise.
Shout out to that though.
Yeah, appreciate y'all.
Brothers.
Don't hang up, y'all. We're gonna do a little post game.
Yeah,
Okay.
But for myself, for Sir Royce Briales, for Dr. Raheem Young, and for the Smokin Sustuz, definitely thank y'all for taking the time out to listen, and stay tuned for further announcements.